You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
April 12th, 2016. It is another episode of the Impact Implosion here on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. As always, I am Seth Draken, and the junkyard to my warehouse, Mr. Mike Poland.
Hello! Soon enough we'll be seeing TNA Junkyard Invitationals. Not won by Fit Finley of the Public Enemy.
No, we sadly got to talk about sad news during the show tonight. We received word that the man who once wrestled here as Cojones for one night in that awful, but most people will know him as Balls Mahoney, passed away today.
Was he part of the ECW versus Dixie Carter thing?
He was part of the he was part of the EV 2 point, whatever the fuck it was called, that Dixie Carter tried to
a Raven partner in early TNA against CM Punk and Julio De Niro, if I'm remembering correctly.
So sadly, Cojones has passed away. I think at the age of 36 or 46?
44.
44. Okay.
Young man.
Yeah, sadly, another tragic wrestling death. His partner,
another ECW guy.
Yeah, another ECW guy that has sadly passed away. One that did a lot of chair shots. Part of the chair swinging maniacs with him and Axel Rotten, who has also passed.
Also passed away a few months ago.
Yeah. So
that is unfortunate. I did see that story.
So yeah. Other news.
Known as Xanta Claus.
Yes, the big news that happened. God. TNA. You know, everyone talked about how it was BS when TNA was moving their offices to the basement. Well, they're leaving that building completely now and moving their headquarters completely to where their warehouse is. To save money, because they couldn't pay they couldn't pay the rent for that office building.
They'll be taping Impacts, I believe, next weekend.
Yeah. They will be.
Slammiversary is going to be taking place at the Impact Zone as well.
Yeah.
Sometime in June.
So yeah, if you're wondering where this warehouse is, it is next to a freaking junkyard. And a building that was known as Nashville Discount Building, but which
the bargain basement, literally.
And it's sadly closed. So yeah, TNA. Next to a junkyard and a closed building. And that's where your home offices are going to be. Also, their production offices are going to be somewhere else. I think another company's taking them up on the production.
Let's hope so. Yep.
North Star Productions.
Run by Joey Eason. Oh, wait. That's a different North Star.
They described it as the biggest HD production facility in the city.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. There's news that, because there was other news.
Nobody else leaving TNA?
No, nobody else left TNA. Cherry and Pepper Parks got new names.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Cherry Bomb is now known as Allie, and Pepper Parks is now Braxton Sutter.
Like Braxton Sutter.
Yep. I'm more offended by the fact that they're calling Cherry Bomb Allie. What the hell?
Well, they couldn't use Laura Dennis, or just call her frickin' Cherry Bomb like they do on the Indies.
Yeah. Like WWE would be doing at this point.
Yes.
Dixie Bruce. Anyway, there is one more bit of news about another ex-TNA person, Scott Steiner,
Big Papa Pump.
who witnessed an attempted murder. Because he owns a business, he owns a building that houses a Hardee's and a Red Burrito. And the person trying to shoot the other person, crashed into that building. And Scott Steiner, when interviewed, acted normal. Probably the biggest surprise of them all.
You're killing the gimmick, Scotty.
Oh, and finally, TNA's the replay is no more. Well, kind of. It's no more going to be after Impact. It will be instead Saturday morning at 11:30.
TNA Knockout Knockdown will be airing next Friday night.
Oh, great.
Yep.
And I will not be watching it, of course, because
I might try.
I don't care about those one-night onlys anymore. They've jumped the freaking shark on that BS.
Yeah. And we have
another former TNA employee, freaking Sonata, showed up in New Japan.
And he showed no signs of being brainwashed by James Storm.
Nope, he's now part of the Los Ingobernables. Oh, and Will Ospreay, who made a one-time appearance, also had one of the best matches on that show. And then TNA Explosion happened, and he only got 8 minutes with Mandrews, or Mark Andrews, as I like to call him, because he should be called that.
Well, you know what? It's okay, because Will Ospreay did have a really kick-ass match on that show. I got to watch it. Let me tell you something. Sonata showing up in the main event and interfering like he did, the crowd was confused as fuck. I mean, this whole show was top to almost nearly the end, was a great show. I tell you what, absolutely amazing. And let me tell you, Kenny Omega cut one hell of a shoot. Just walking to the ring. He wasn't on the mic or anything, just talking to the home audience. One hell of a shoot on WWE. You should go watch it. It's 999 yen, like $8.32. Go watch that for some entertaining stuff. But Sonata showing up right at the end, I swear it killed the main event.
Oof.
But yeah, you gotta remember, this guy was once in TNA, and TNA did nothing with him. So New Japan will probably do a lot more with him.
Yeah, we might see him on a Ring of Honor card sometime.
And new tag team champion Micah became one half of the new tag champs.
Woof.
Yep.
Haku Jr.
Ex-TNA guys doing better elsewhere.
What a surprise.
What a surprise. TNA sucks.
Speaking of that, we have an Impact to talk about.
Oh yeah, we finally got to get to this show. This show was okay. I gave it a C overall, but I guess we got to start it now, so... C. So, anyway, Matt Hardy and his freaking stable comes out.
I am iconic.
To bitch and complain.
Sorry, we're coming
and Pope's back on commentary, thankfully. And Matt's like, you all pay to see me. You all pay to see me. And I'm like, nobody pays to see you, Matt. Nobody cares.
Nobody in the Impact Zone pays to see you.
Yeah. Nobody watches you. So, yeah, Jeff Hardy is tarnishing the Hardy name and his brand. So he calls out Jeff Hardy, said you interfered in my match last week. Even though your boys interfered too, Jeff Hardy was making the save. Mm-hmm. And Jeff's like, the title is bigger than you. You're disgracing that you were disgracing that title. It symbolizes the very best in this business. No, it doesn't. And Matt's like, I've always been the best. And I always took care of you. But I'm tired of that now. And I want you to go. And I want you no longer to be Jeff Hardy. You could be the Creature or Willow or the Enigma. Yeah. Just leave. No. In fact, I am better than you. I am tired of being under. I am never not under your shadow. And I'm like, Matt, no matter how many world titles you win, crappy world titles you win, you will always be under your brother's shadow. You are the Marty Jannetty.
You are the Devon.
Although he did get one good thing right. Jeff's paintings are silly. His music's crap too. So, and Matt wants a match with Jeff, and the winner gets to keep the Hardy name. We are going back to WCW here. Jeff wants
and WWF in '99 when they did it with DX.
No, this is about last.
Against Billy Gunn in China.
No, but this is about last names, not about a
no
brand.
Legal rights. Oh, okay.
This is about a last freaking name. BS.
Although WCW the whole Harlem Heat storyline, yeah.
Yeah, although WCW did do worse because it was about a T. the letter T.
T for 2 and 2 for T.
So, Jeff Hardy says, hey, we're gonna, instead...
He says, hey!
We're gonna have a tag match later tonight, and the winner gets to name the stable. You want your I Quit match? Well, I want Full Metal Mayhem. And the winner of this tag match gets to pick gets to get that stipulation. So next,
I Quit Full Metal Mayhem match.
Here comes the tag team title match where Beer Money defends against all their tag titles against any and all tag teams.
And we get the Bromans. We get Decay, and we get Bram and Eric Young.
Yep. And
I thought this was the week where they actually changed the titles. No, that's still to come.
No, this Fatal 4-Way confirmed. One fall ends it, so no eliminations. And we get before even the
matches like that.
And before that, we get to see James Storm run over Bram with the Boozer Cruiser, complete with a Boozer Cruiser camera.
Beer money.
Sadly, this probably was the best match in the show. Jesse Goddard's actually showed up here. Did a nice Frankensteiner off the top rope.
He seems to be improving.
Did a bro down and an Adonis lock. So, yeah, he seems to be.
Adonis lock.
Yep. So, after EY once again accidentally hits Bram, then gets super kicked.
Super kick.
Last call, and the tag champs retain.
And the burial of Eric Young on his way out continues.
Yep. Oh, by the way, that whole Jeff Hardy thing, Hardy versus Hardy tag match, actually happened afterwards. They mentioned that afterwards. The whole tag match is happening tonight and stuff. They met backstage. You know, Tyrus, Matt's going to be teaming with Tyrus, and he says, Jeff, you pick your partner. So anyway, Maria's going to head out to the ring, but first we got to see Eddie Edwards get hit on the shoulder backstage.
Oh, this Maria segment
because he supposedly had a title shot tonight against Trevor Lee.
This next Maria segment is terrible. I don't like it.
Oh God, yeah, this segment. We'll have to talk about this. Maria comes out saying, change has happened. You know, I allowed Donald Trump to make America. Yeah, I gave Donald Trump his Make America Great, blah, blah, blah. Calling out Jade and says, Jade...
Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah, and says to Jade, because says, you know, since I did that for you last week, I want you to hand over the women's title. And Jade's like, what?
No.
It says, you owe her, I want the title. And Jade's like, it's not my fault you're afraid to wrestle. So Champ calls the shots, and of course Gail Kim comes out and says,
I want my rematch.
I'm the just because you're the dog that barks the loudest, that just makes you a bitch. And Maria says, you are all sheep. And starts to sing until Marty cuts her off. As the other dollhouse saying, it's their house, and here comes the beautiful people. Velvet saying, beautiful people are the OGs of the Knockouts division. Maria has no say over them. Madison says she's the queen bee. And Velvet's like, really?
Not for the last 2 years you have been.
And Velvet's like, really? I'm gonna do this. And so, all of them are about to fight. Maria says she's the leader. Then Billy Corgan comes out.
No, it's William Corgan. According to Josh Matthews.
Oh, yeah. He likes to be called William. It's Billy Corgan. Or Maria likes to call him Bill. And she asks for his support, and Corgan says, you know, me and Dixie Dixie's told me she is proud of how this division has become.
What's less believable here? The fact that Maria can call Billy Corgan Bill, or that she actually knows any Smashing Pumpkins songs?
I believe she knows Smashing Pumpkins songs. That is, I believe she does know Smashing Pumpkins songs. Because, yeah, Smashing Pumpkins were a hit. You do got to remember that.
Yeah, probably.
So she probably knows some. She's not like she was raised in a barn.
No, she was just raised in, like, somewhere in Chicago.
She may not be the smartest person in the room, but I'm sure she knows who Smashing Pumpkins are.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, they have made it clear that in-ring action decides who runs things, and tonight, Jade, you're defending against Madison Rayne tonight. And next week, since you all want to talk about leadership, we're going to have one match to decide who fights for leadership. God. And I'm like, really? Why don't you just all say nobody is the leader? We're the leader here. F you. So
we're gonna try retread the knockout law gimmick.
Or yeah, the last time they had a knockout leader was freaking Brooke Hogan.
And that worked well.
Yeah, that worked swimmingly.
And the time before that was Tracy Brooks, like 7 years ago.
No, it was Karen Jarrett.
Oh yeah, that's right. That I actually liked.
I didn't. The only thing that happened was I had a headache over this whole freaking thing, and as someone pointed out, where was Rosemary when you need to knock out the knockouts?
Oh God. Talking to Marilyn Manson, I bet.
Yeah, so we have a backstage segment with EC3 saying, miracles come from people who are supernatural. Mike Bennett, you're a great talent, but you're not a miracle. You are trying to play games here, and I know you're trying to make a name for yourself, and I know better than anyone else about that. This is a game about making the best of your opportunities. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've made time. I have no regrets. I've learned humility during this time, and if I stand alone, I can become one of the biggest names in the business, even if I have to. So tonight, Bennett is going to learn an ass-kicking from the ass-kicking machine.
Yep.
And next up, we have Shane Helms coming out and said, I was ready for Trevor Lee to have an opponent here, kick Eddie Edwards' ass. So, you know what? Hurt. But Eddie got hurt backstage, ground, and none of you all want the opportunity. So, you know what? Come out here. It's your opportunity. So DJZ takes the challenge, and then we just learn it's a non-title match. Even though DJZ earlier on,
wins the match for the first time in years.
DJZ with a DDT, Gregory Helms distracts the ref, so no pin. Then DJZ wins with a roll-up. Helms beats Z afterwards, and Edwards makes the save, so this whole Edwards getting hurt is pointless.
Yep.
Jeff Hardy's backstage. He reveals his partner's going to be the world champion, Drew Galloway.
Yay.
Yay. So, and we get a Mike Bennett backstage promo. We're saying, you know what? You keep saying I'm like you. I am nothing like you. You have changed and brought into the notion that you are an ass-kicking. But I don't need to change or evolve because I know who I am. I write the course of history. And tonight I begin writing the course of EC3's first two Chapter 1, I debut. Chapter 2, your downward spiral. Chapter 3, I'm going to kick your ass tonight. And that will be called Yes, We Do. Bennett's got better on the mic.
Yep.
I mean, like Sensei let him be better on the mic and just, instead of looking like just Maria's behind.
Being the Mark Merrow to her Sable.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, they're keeping the two separate, kind of, which is smart. So it's time for EC3 versus the Miracle Mike Bennett.
I was fine with this match until the finish happened.
Yeah, we had a TKO or a TK3 as Josh calls it, but Maria puts Bennett's foot on the ropes, and this is where we learned that Balls Mahoney died. It was during this match. So Mike Bennett goes for a chair. EC3 reverses it with a $1 Million Dream, but Maria grabs the chair and the ref tries to take it away from her, and they don't see Mike.
Somehow Earl Hebner gets bumped and sent out of the ring.
No, Earl Hebner never got bumped here. Earl Hebner was just distracted by all this. And so EC3 gets pissed off, grabs the chair, and hits Bennett with him, like, F you.
No, but Hebner got sent to the floor.
Oh, yeah, so distraction.
That's why I didn't like the finish.
Yeah, EC3 gets too pissed off and just hits Bennett with the chair.
Yes, about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and they call a DQ, so Bennett wins, but by DQ, and everybody's like, oh, he didn't really win. This was BS. And it was. The finish was complete bogus.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to protect EC3 here, and when you try to protect both wrestlers, nobody gets over. Oh, anyway, you try to get both wrestlers over, nobody gets over. So, right. Al Snow says he's going to publicly apologize because he realized his mistake. Yes. This fucking segment. And then, so Al Snow's in the ring, and he says, I'm sorry, I made a mistake last week. Cher, come on out here. Cher's mad and is about to punch Al Snow. He's like, let me explain. So Al Snow goes into the sob story talking about, when I was your age,
it's been 25 years.
When I was your age, I didn't get to be just come in the front door. I had to earn my way here. And like when I was at some point, Chris Irvine, or Chris Irwin, as he said, beat me until I was blind at one point. I've been doing this my whole life. I'm 53. I had to earn Chris Irwin beat me blind when I was coming up. So, it's basically probably Chris Irvin, a.k.a. Chris Jericho, he probably made a reference to.
Yeah.
I did what people did to me. I was jealous and angry because I'm retired. But you know what? I'll pay Grado's medical bills. I want the youth to benefit, and I'll help you become a world champion. Younger people have to be. Younger people have to be respected. Al apologized, said I'm sorry, extends his hand. They start to go out the ring, and then sends the man to the steps a few times. Snow basically reneging on all the apology he made, beating him up, and meanwhile, the crowd says, "You still got it." That was the funniest part of that whole thing. So, Tyrus is backstage talking to Drew, saying, it wasn't a smart idea to be Jeff Hardy's partner. You're gonna basically gonna need a bodyguard, because this bodyguard still has a title shot against you. And I can cash it in at any time.
Yeah.
So, then we have Al Snow saying to the camera, I don't need to apologize. The fact that I had to apologize out there is offensive. I've been in this business. I'm teaching these young guys my business. So, yeah, Al Snow.
Trying to care about me.
So, yeah, time for the Knockouts title match. And Jade still comes out to the Knockouts dollhouse music, even though she's no longer part of them, really. And Josh Matthews makes a comparison of Jade to Ronda Rousey, while Pope says Jade is a combination of Rousey and Gail Kim. I'm going to say no to both of those. Look, I like Jade and all, but none of these people are comparable to a UFC fighter, let alone a former champion. There's a difference. I don't even compare her to Gina Carano.
Who's she again? I think I've heard that name.
She was a former Strikeforce wrestler. She lost to Cyborg and now has gone into acting.
Okay, yes, I have heard that name.
Yeah, former American Gladiator too. When the show rebooted stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, I don't know how Jade did it, but she retained the title.
I don't remember.
She hit the STO. She hit the STO.
Yeah.
Retained the title. This was a nothing match.
Yeah. And the main event.
Main event time, yeah. Nothing really happened. Oh, actually, we get to learn next week that Trevor Lee defends the title in a triple threat match against DJZ and Eddie Edwards.
Yay! Huzzah!
And
something.
Jeff Hardy comes out with a stupid fucking shirt. Seriously, this shirt looks freaking terrible on him. And this match, again, it was okay, like most of this show. So basically, in the end, Reby Hardy gives Matt a hammer. He uses on Jeff Hardy, behind the ref's back, twist of fate. Matt and Tyrus win. Next week will be an I Quit match, and we get Franklin attacks and spears Drew after the match. Spears him 3 times, the third one, and he spears him into the stairs. And Franklin raises the title as the show goes off the air with a teaser for next week's show about saying lift off and something, and then Jeff lifts from, does some dive from the stairs.
Yep.
Maybe it's a teaser or something. I'm giving this a C. I'm not doing pluses or minuses anymore, just the letter. This is a C. It's really just an okay show.
Yep.
So, do you have anything to sell?
Nope.
I do not either, so,
Good night, everybody.
Miley, we are going to bed.